All right, so I've been talking about it. I finally did it today. Cleaning out some stuff here in the garage. And went ahead and took a planer and a sander to this. And I ended up rattling out all of the glue that was in there. This bench top here is more than 30 years old. This was the centerpiece in my grandfather's garage. And I got it when they passed on. And it's been a great worktop, and it had that shellac finish and just driving me nuts. So part of it's are obviously better than others. The glue up job is just terrible. I mean, I don't know if my grandfather did it. I'm sure he did. Maybe he didn't have enough clamps, but the gaps are really bad, and planing the surface definitely made it worse. So I mean, it is what it is. It's not supposed to be beautiful. It's just a worktop, but I like nice things, I guess. So, boiled linseed oil on the raw wood there top, and we're gonna see what that's like. I think I can keep sanding it and boil linseed oiling it for a long time. I got 4 inches of material to work through, 3.5 inches of material. So it was very much not flat. And you don't realize that until you start planing on something, how unflat it is. But it's level, and it's pretty darn flat right now, so that'll be helpful. Kicked up a ton of dust, which I'm still going to be dealing with here in the shop, but progress. All right, we're going to throw this vise on real quick. Wonder if we can dust it off a little bit here. So I don't have a ton of things from my grandfather, but the things I do have, I really enjoy. Now when I put this, mostly tools and stuff, when I put this on my workbench, you got to pay attention to, oh, see, there's the problem. It doesn't go, it only goes that far. Okay, so one of the problems I had last time was this was not swinging as far over as I wanted it to. Might need to do that. Maybe that. No, that only goes that far. Maybe it is like that. Man, I don't know how I want to put that. One of the problems I had last time was it would only go that far over, and I felt like I wanted it to keep going. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I can always change it later. This is how I had it. I feel like I might want to have it so it can swivel towards me more, so I can work here. I'm not going to need to go that way. Well, since I felt like the other way I was doing it was bothering me, I'm going to go ahead and change it, because I always wanted to change it. Okay, I was watching a video the other day of a guy installing a vise, and he made a point that I had not considered, and that was, if you clamp something flat in here, you want to make sure it doesn't hit the front of your table. So let's check that. All right, so we'll put a flat edge in here and make sure that anything long that we stick through won't interfere with the table. I think I had it in a pretty good spot. Just made me think of it, because I think it was right about there. That looks like. Why is that being weird? Is this thing flat? Seems like it should be flat. Let's try a board. Everything is so dusty. Hate it when that I purposely do not do any sanding or sawing in the shop anymore because of that very reason. It just wrecks everything. So maybe like that. All right. Looks like that was good advice, because I think where I had it. Oh, where I had it was fine. I'm right over the old holes. No big deal. All right, well, let's zip those on. And for some reason, this vise only has 3 spots. So, whatever. This one is the one that's going to be a fresh hole. Should I pre-drill that? Probably shouldn't. Would you pre-drill that? I'll bet you would. It actually already chipped. Oh, I don't have a long enough. Okay, well, we'll back these up. That's why we didn't go tight. Oh, and there's a knot right where I need to go. Well, that's not going to do any good. So, I don't care about the holes there, whatever. Maybe I just need to shift it over so we can skip that bolt hole location. I mean, that's probably fine right there. All right, let's mark those. And I know that's lazy, I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to run a small drill through those, and then I bet we're good to go. All right, battery charged, and got those holes pre-drilled. Let's go ahead and sink them in. While we're going to put a couple more coats of the boiled linseed on here, and while we are waiting on that, I have a project that needs our help. Why don't my holes line up? Do you hate it when that happens? Something like that should work. A lot of good pre-drilling does when you can't drill a straight hole. All right, so I know that this is not the proper way to do it. I got you. My apologies. But you see, it's been on there for 2 years. And mostly I clamp, for example, a handle while I'm sanding or something. It doesn't really receive any big, it's actually kind of too big of a vise for this little workbench project anyway, but it's what I had. I can't see replacing it for, although if I find a really cool one, I will restore it and use it. Okay, so this is the opposite of what it used to do. So I think now I can, this is pointed right at me. Maybe I'll enjoy that a little bit better. Maybe that's what's bugging me. Anyway, we're going to put another coat of boiled linseed on this, but while we're doing that, we might as well work on a project that needs some boiled linseed. So in the garage cleanup today, came across several things that need attention, and this disgusting mallet, I guess, mini sledge was on the list. So I'm just using the rag with the boiled linseed on it to kind of clean it off, but we are going to sand on it because we want to get rid of this finish and the sticker. Okay, so here's the project. We have this big friggin' hammer that needs some love. It is, I think I bought this at like a yard sale years ago. I think it was $1, if I'm not mistaken. It still has some of the red paint on it. I don't know if you can tell in the light, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to mess with it. This is not a full restoration. This is just a keep the tool serviceable for as long as possible project. So the other day I did some scraping just with our world's cheapest pocket knife here, and it did great. So a little test piece right there. I don't think it's worth breaking out a sander. I think this will work really quickly. Okay, cool. Let's put this in the vise. And all right, see, so now that goes right at me, and we can work on it. It seems like this takes forever, but it really goes quick. If you're concerned about your handle and the jaws, you know, put something in there. I gotta tell you, that's a great use for the cheapest pocket knife available at Walmart. That thing was just a couple dollars, and it has found many uses over here on the workbench. I feel like that vise is secure. I know it's not the way you're supposed to do it, but okay. As to why we're actually doing this, these hammers or wooden tools in general, they come with this varnish on there, and it's not a natural finish, and it doesn't really, I mean, it protects it, but my thought is that the protection is really just for shipping purposes and display purposes, so it looks good on a shelf. It's not going to make the handle last forever, and what's a retailer care how long the handle lasts? They want it to look good enough to sell. So the varnish is applied, and I was told by a wise old man that the varnish should be removed. In fact, it was intended to be removed, but in the throwaway society, you just get a new one if you don't like it. Thankfully, this mallet is hung tight. It's got no movement, so I'm not going to mess with any of that. If we need to build a new handle for it one day, we will. I've actually not ever done a handle from scratch. Might be kind of fun. I think I have everything I need to do it. Have you ever made a handle from a piece of wood? So you can see the color change on this worktop, probably even just during the video. it really soaked that up. We'll do another coat here in just a minute when we get this one going. It is smooth. I sanded it smooth, and I just wish it was clamped. I wish he'd have clamped it. It'd have been lesson learned, you know? Maybe I can learn from his lesson. And you know, I don't know if you can see this on camera, right here at the edge, this glue, I mean, you could just chip all of the glue out. When the sander was vibrating on it, the glue was just chunking out. And I was like, oh my gosh. Do you have a solution for me on this, anyone? Any recommendation? Is it worth? So here's the thing. This is a workbench. Yeah, it needs to look nice on camera, but ultimately I don't think any viewers are won or lost based on my workbench. I want it to look nice because I like nice things, but how do I fill those gaps? I mean, I guess I could wood filler it. What a mess. So it is smooth, and it is flat now. There's actually up here at the top, and maybe I'll show it to you in another video. Up there in the top, it is low right there, and it's not. I mean, it's way low. It's not worth it to. You know, I got that level. I'll show you in just a second. It's not worth it because it's way low, and so I would have to remove a ton of workbench to get that up. Anyway, we're just working on this real quick while that boiled linseed soaks in. Now there's some guys who prefer the scraped finish over the sanded finish, which I would agree. The sanded finish really just kind of smooths over all that natural wood fiber. If you like the feeling of wood, then just leave it carded. I actually don't have a card. I got a $5 card. All right, that thing looks better already. Should I sand it? I think I'm gonna leave it. Let's test out that theory and see if we prefer. This isn't a tool I use right now. You can see where those stickers were. Just permanently. Change the wood there. All right, nice. Okay, partial restoration here. I'm gonna put some boiled linseed there on the head. Make sure that doesn't dry out. I know you're not supposed to touch that boiled linseed. I need to get some real boiled linseed. You know, they say that this stuff is actually not good because it has chemical dryers in it, which I didn't know anything about. I think actually I learned about that from a comment from somebody. All right, last coat here. Now we can do another one later, but this will be good enough for now. All right, 2 coats on, looking pretty good. I think that's gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for hanging out. Might throw another coat on tomorrow. We'll see how it looks in the morning. But good project, and I'm happy with the surface. It still has that yellowy look to it, so it shouldn't change too much in the videos. But if you watch this video, you'll know it happened. All right, well, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Eagle Run 2-3.